Alright gang, welcome back to our Vanilla Survival Challenge here in Maypole Farm. It is now April, and we're going to start the process here of putting in some more crop into the fields that we plowed up in the recent episodes. Now what we're likely going to do here is I think I'm going to do both of these fields with the same exact crop. So for the time being, you know, I would love to do soybeans, etc. in here, but for the time being, we only have a header for corn and sunflowers. So really, I think for the first harvest in the first season, I guess, more than anything, I think we're going to stick with corn and sunflowers. But I think for both of these fields, we're going to be doing corn. I'm pretty sure, at least. Maybe I changed my mind, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing corn in both of them. Really, if we're going to do sunflowers, we have to do it today because I think sunflowers are done in April. I think that's the last month. Yeah, it is. Last month we can do them is April. So I think I'm going to do corn. The reason why is because this is the first month for corn. That way I can stagger these fields a bit. I talked about that already in the last episode, right? Wanted to stagger these so we had a field to harvest every month, excuse me. Kind of 3 in a row, right? I just think it makes the most sense for us. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put corn down here, and we're going to go ahead straight into it and get started here. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man. All things considered. Quick welcome to DConley08. Just recently joined as a member on the channel, so thank you for the support. I appreciate it. If you're interested in that, you do get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. There's a link down below. Multiple things you can choose from in the members as well. But yeah, we're underway. This is looking good. So this is going to be a lot of money we're going to get out of all this. Now, the great thing about what we're currently sitting at is, in this instance, in this series, because we bought this land down there at the bottom, you know, we do have the option, the ability, I guess I should say, to be able to store this corn and the sunflowers, which is going to be great for us, right? That's going to save us, well, I say save us, it's going to produce a lot more money for us by selling these things at the best time to sell them, versus just having to sell them outright, right? So that's great. Now, you know, my concern, I guess, and I haven't really tested this out. Maybe I should have, but I haven't. My concern is with all the other issues we've been running into on this map, with the fact that, you know, it's pretty much at its maxed capacity already. That's why we weren't able to put down any kind of pin, you know, over here in this area, which is what my initial plan was for, you know, the sheep and the goats, right? Since we're not really able to put that down, I'm concerned that it won't allow me to put anything down. I haven't tried it. Maybe we will, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is I'm happy that I decided not to get rid of those silos, because I had thought about, you know, potentially getting rid of those silos, right? And evidently there is a severe hill here because it is not planting right here on this spot. I might have to go in and do some smoothing. Now the problem is, as you can clearly tell, we really don't have a whole lot of money to do any kind of smoothing right now. We've got $1,137. That's not a lot of money. It's really not any money at all. The problem is we don't really have any way to make money besides doing some contracts. So more than likely what we're going to have to do today is, once we're done doing the drilling here, or the seeding here on this field, the planting on this field, we're going to have to do a contract again just so we can actually get some funds in the bank account, because we are incurring, you know, fees, maintenance, etc. overnight, which is going to play a pivotal role here for the next couple of months when we aren't making any money, right? So we're gonna have to do contracts to get us to a point where we can actually continue to stay in the positive and not go into the red, right? Don't know what's out there for contract. I would assume there's quite a lot, as a matter of fact, out there for contract perspective right now. Hopefully there's another, like, seeding contract for us. I think that would be a great thing for us to do. Reduce a good amount of money. We've already got enough seed and fertilizer in here, I think, to be able to do a relatively decent-sized field. It doesn't need to be a tiny field, but it also can't be a massive field. I mean, we're gonna use some of it up here, or a lot of it up here, I guess I should say. But hopefully, we'll find something out there. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and take a look right now and see if there is. There's not, unfortunately. So that's a bit unfortunate. There's some more hoeing contracts we could do. There's fertilizing, dead wood. Maybe we do the dead wood of some sort, or I don't know. We'll see what we can come up with, I guess. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot out there. I was really hoping there'd be something for, seeding corn or sunflowers or something right now, but unfortunately that's not the case. I guess it could be sorghum or soybeans too. I mean, those would be fine as well, right? Now, if you haven't watched this past weekend's competitive one-tile challenge with my friends Rusty Money Gaming and Crestu, I highly recommend you do. It was a lot of fun. Crestu and I got into a bit of a war there for a brief period of time. It was fun. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, man. We had a lot of fun. It was a good episode. We got a lot of progress done, in my opinion. We did a lot of progress on that one. Puts us in a pretty good spot. No spoilers or anything, but both the guys finally got one of the big pieces of equipment that they needed to get, which is good for them. I was a little concerned for Crestu if he was actually going to be able to purchase it or not, but he found a way to do it. The harvester he got, well, I guess I just kind of gave it away there, didn't I? Anyway, they got harvesters, I guess I'll just say it. They got harvesters. I won't tell you what kind they got, but the one Crestu got, I don't really love that one, but he likes it, so that's all that matters, right? But not really. It's just too slow for me. Now, we still have to buy a header for our harvester. I'm holding out hope on that series. Holding out slim hope that there's going to be a header that pops up for us in the used market, because that would be wonderful if it does. It would save us a lot of money. But I just don't think it's going to happen. But luckily, I've been very cognizant of that and continue to try to preach that I'm trying to be cognizant of that. And I have plenty of money for us to be able to buy one if we need to. At the full price, right? Without it being a used one. But let's hope the farming gods are nice to us and provide us with, once again, another wonderful option in the used market, like they did the harvester, right? We got super lucky with that harvester. Those guys were so jealous and upset when I got that. They didn't have the money to get it, so I had to jump on that early on, knowing fully and being fully aware that it was going to be sitting there not doing anything for a handful plus months, right? And it hasn't done anything, but it's just something that I couldn't pass up at the time. It was too good to pass up. All right, so we're almost done here. We don't have much left to do. There's a couple more passes. The nice thing about this seed drill here is that it's a very, very wide width, right? So it doesn't take us very long to do these fields. Now, it took a long time to get them plowed up and prepped and ready to go, but actually putting in any of the crop, seeding any of the crop, it's not terrible at all. It really isn't. It does not take us long to do it. All right, that is all done. Now, one thing we also haven't done yet that we need to do is purchase the soil sample of the fields. We haven't done any of that. I I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty expensive. We also need to buy for this one, because this one's likely going to need a second application of fertilizer. We put this in the last episode, but I'm pretty sure we're going to need it. So 262, we can afford that right now. Not really, but we can. We can afford that. So we're going to buy that. Okay, so nitrogen's bad. We knew that because we didn't put any lime down. We really didn't have the weight, any way to put, or not nitrogen, sorry. pH value is what I was talking about. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay, it's not terrible. But we do need to put nitrogen down. We definitely need to put nitrogen down. Now, we don't have any money, right? We don't have any money to put nitrogen down, which is going to be part of the problem here early on. I've said that before, right? We're not going to be able to do everything. We couldn't do the pH, right? We couldn't do the lime. We're not going to be able to do everything. There's a chance that this field might not get a very good yield because we just don't have the money for it. Now, things we could do. We talked about this. Things we could do. If we jump to, well, we'll just jump to the field. If we jump to here, things we can do is potentially sell our forestry stuff. It's not really something specifically that I wanted to do, right? I was planning on potentially keeping these, but I think given the situation we're in, we could do some contracts here, right? We could do these two contracts, which would put us in an okay spot. But if we were to sell these pieces of equipment, let's just talk through this for a minute. If we were to sell these pieces of equipment, we would get 22-ish maybe out of that, and then maybe 8 out of that, 7, 8 out of that. So it would put us around 30 grand. 30 grand is a much better spot for us to be in. Now, if we do those contracts, okay, we're going to get 11. Let's just say 11. 11 is not really, well, really at least, not really enough to get a whole lot from a fertilizing perspective. We could get the small one, but that would be it, right? If we get rid of the other ones and get 30-something thousand, we can get this one. Here's the problem that I'm seeing right now, and I didn't really think about this until now because we are on vanilla. I got to keep putting that in the back of my mind. We're on vanilla. We don't have as many options as we normally do. There's not many options in vanilla that allows you to do lime, and the ones that do allow you to do lime, they're super expensive. See, 45,000. So what we might end up having to do is do what I just said, buy this one, or I guess I could buy this one. It doesn't really matter. I mean, well, this only has 300 liters, so if we do that one, we'd have to bring the trailer around with us with more bags of fertilizer. But the problem there is we don't have a forklift or anything at the shop. Maybe eventually we'll be able to purchase one and leave it up there. But we don't have anything to pick up, the stuff at the shop, right? We don't have a front loader. We don't have any of that, right? So I think this is the smarter path to go in because we can fill it up with one full bag, maybe even part of a second bag. And then we can make sure we're able to take care of our own fields with the fertilizer at least. May not have the lime on it, right? May not have the rolling, all that stuff yet, but at least they will have a relatively strong yield potential, right? So I think, although maybe not the smartest play right now, we're not really doing anything with tree work. We have some trees over there we talked about potentially getting rid of, right? We have those. It's not lost on me that we have all these trees that we could get rid of if we wanted to. And maybe that's what we should do instead, right? Maybe we should get rid of some of those trees and sell them and see if we make more money. But at the same time, I just don't think we're going to be doing a whole lot more tree work. Even though we have these trees we can get rid of, I just don't think we're going to. I think we're going to probably be mostly staying away from tree work for a while here because we did so much early on this series, right? We've got rid of all the ones over here to the right, so there's not really anything specific that we need. I guess one thing I do want to peek at here, bear with me for a minute, I don't think we have to get rid of any trees over here. Remember a long time ago I talked about purchasing this field and then kind of taking the track and extending it over to here so we have an easier way to get to here instead of what we're doing now, which is turning here, going all the way down, all the way up and around. If we just drive up the road here and turn here, it's going to be much faster for us to get over here to our sheep. And yeah, see, I can get rid of these right here, and that's an easy access right into here. I don't have to get rid of any specific trees. Now, there are trees to get rid of here. or that we can get rid of here. The problem is, I don't think I own this fence. I think it's included with this one, I think. If I can get rid of this fence, I could, right now at least, in theory, cut straight across here, pull the trees across, and, you know, well, I'd have to come all over here and then turn around and put them in here. It might be a bit of a struggle, but we could do that and gain a few extra bucks, right? Let me... I don't think it's going to let me. I really don't. But let's just look and see what it does, if it does anything. Okay, so here's one. Yeah, I'm not allowed to cut it. That's what I thought. So I have to own this field before I can even get across here anyway. So while I would like to get rid of these, I don't think it's worth it right now. Maybe later on we'll buy the stuff back and we can get rid of, you know, some of these big massive trees here, which are probably worth a good chunk of change. But it's not, in my eyes at least, it's not worth me cutting these down and then having to pull them really all the way down. I mean, it would just be miserable. And then I have to go right up the middle of the road. That's just, we're not doing that. We're just not, we're just simply not going to do that. Yeah, there's no easy way for us to get them to the sawmill here. So there you go. Decision's made. So we're going to get rid of that stuff. They've been sitting there for a couple of months anyway, haven't been doing anything with them, so probably better utilized having that money in our bank account versus just sitting here collecting dust for the time being, and then, you know, later on, hell, later on we might have even more money and we might be able to you know, get something better than what we've currently got, right? We might be able to get a better forestry setup at that point. Right now we've got plenty of room, so I'm not too concerned about getting rid of trees, I guess, to make more room, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, right? So, we will head on up to the shop. I will see you up there. Alright, I decided to go with 2 pallets of solid fertilizer, knowing we weren't going to have to utilize all of it in here, and we didn't. I think the field is in a good spot now, and the reason why I decided to go with that is because there is a fertilizing contract out there for $3,325. It's near us, very much near us. It's right next to our sheep area, actually, as a matter of fact, so we're very used to that field. We drive through it often. It's a grass field normally. I don't know if it still is, but normally it is. So we're going to accept that contract and do that one. And that's going to get most of the money back that we paid for the fertilizer, which is going to be good, right? That's going to put us in a better spot, too. So we'll head on down there now. I believe this field should be all done and in a good spot, but it might be worth just checking, verifying that statement. Nitrogen, yeah, it's as good as it's going to be at this point. It needs a lot of other work to get it into a better spot, but this is a slow and steady grind here, right? We are playing vanilla here, which means we have very little inexpensive things that we can choose from. And if we do, like that $2,000 spreader, we would have to make multiple trips to the store. Let's put it that. Let's leave it at that. Multiple trips to the store just to fill that thing up. It's just not something I'm willing to consider doing right now. That would just take a lot of gas, a lot of wear and tear, and just a lot of time, as a matter of fact, honestly, right? That's the biggest problem, is it would take a lot of time. But I'm very, very happy we've got this new fertilizer spreader, man. It's great. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. This is going to be so good for us. Wish it did lime, but we'll have to, you know, make do right now for the time being, and really right now for the time being, we can't really even afford to do lime anyway, right? So Yep, just the grass field here, so this is going to be good for us. I am going to go ahead and turn on the steering assist for this one. I haven't really been utilizing it most of today. Couple reasons, mostly just didn't really want to. It's not that hard for me to utilize the old-fashioned way, if you will. I'm just so used to doing it that way, so it's not been a big deal. But yeah, this thing is it's doing well for us, man. Look at that. Man, we really need to get a... I say this in every series, I feel like, but we really need to consider getting some kind of a power washer for our equipment, man. It's so dirty, it drives me crazy. But really, it's not in the money right now. It's just not in the budget for the time being, if you will. Ooh, you know what? One thing I didn't do, and I should have. You guys always tell me this, and I always forget to do it. Deactivate automatic application rate. It was already I think it was already at the lowest it could be. But let's just make sure that we had it set to the lowest it can be. So we're trying to save as much fertilizer as we can here, right? Pretty sure we're going to have plenty left over, but probably is a good thing to, when we're doing a contract, because it doesn't have to be the full amount, to try to get as much as we can. Or save as much as we can, I guess I should say, right? I don't know where this GPS is taking me. It's taking me all over the place. Alright, I'm just gonna take over. 82%, we're nearly done anyway. We've got one full pallet of wool, by the way. I did take a peek at that. One full pallet of wool. We got about a half a pallet of goat milk. So soon here, we'll be able to sell some of that and you know, recoup a little bit of funds off of that as well, which is going to be great, right? But for the time being, I would really like to have a little bit more before I go and sell that stuff. All right, it is done. So it leaves us with 36%, 1,182 liters of solid fertilizer, which is good. So again, we probably didn't need to buy as much as we did. One pallet probably would have been sufficient, but this prevents us from having to go all the way back up to the shop for the fields we're going to be drilling. Well, the one we drilled today, earlier today, and then the one we're going to be drilling in the next episode, right? It prevents us from having to go all the way back up to the shop to pick up more solid fertilizer. We won't need to, because we've got enough here to do those fields up there easily. Now, this is a bit of a shorter episode, but we're going to leave the episode at this point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out a ton. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you enough. If you're interested in that, as I mentioned earlier on, there's a link down below. My Discord is down below as well. If you want to share your progress, whether it's images or videos, if you're doing any kind of YouTube videos, you're welcome to share them on there. There is an area for you to do so. Same with your live streams as well. That's also available for you to share on there. My second channel is on there. I'm going through currently Red Dead Redemption 2, which I never actually completed. I only actually got 19% through the game before I just, for whatever reason, didn't play it. So we're going through that, which I'm having a blast doing, and the new DLC for the Dynasty Warriors Origins game. Visions of the Four Heroes just came out a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact. So I'm going through that as well. Having fun getting back into that. So if you're interested in that, check out my other channel. It's down below. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching, gang. I don't know what happened to our plow here. It's on its side for some reason. We'll have to figure that out, I guess. Maybe I just dropped it off incorrectly. I don't know. But anyway, hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one.